I'm Simon Donahue. I'm the director of theater here at Belmont Abbey College. And I am staging David Edgars' Pentecost with the wonderful cast that we've assembled for it. Pentecost came to our attention last year, and it falls into the kinds of plays that Belmont Abbey does frequently, challenging both for the performers and for the audiences. Pentecost by David Edgar is concerned with art. It's concerned with the political situation in Eastern Europe after the fall of communism. It's concerned with refugee problems. It's concerned with religion. It's concerned with almost everything that men and women in the 21st century should be concerning themselves with. And we're very pleased to have the opportunity to do the first area production of this play. We've assembled a really good cast for it, including not only, of course, our students, but faculty members and actors from the local area. The play is going to open on February 13th, and it will run the 13th, 14th, 15th, and the 20th, 21st, and 22nd at 8 o'clock p.m. in the Haid Theater on the campus of Belmont Abbey College. We certainly hope we're going to see you with us.
Hello, my name is Anna McLean, and I am a freshman here at Belmont Abbey College, and I'm from York County, Pennsylvania, and this is my first show at Belmont Abbey College. I play Marina, a Russian refugee in the play Pentecost, and I'm very excited. I get to speak Russian, and I get to do this really interesting play, because it's really hard to pin it down to a certain kind of genre. It's kind of like an action piece, but it's also really like a complicated emotional piece, and at the same time it also has a lot of information about art and the history of Eastern European countries. It's been a charged environment as we and our characters struggle to understand each other.
My name is Blake Williams, and I'll be playing Leo Katz from Pentecost. And Leo's an interesting character. He's an art historian from Cornell University. He lives in Ithaca, New York. And he's not too different from people that I've played before. He's arrogant, but he does have the right to be. He's very intelligent, knows exactly what he's doing with this process of coming in, telling people, you think this is a great art find. Well, it's really not. Let me tell you why. It's a challenge for me just because I don't generally speak as well as he does. He's very good, very manipulative, very outspoken, and doesn't, thinks he's the most intelligent guy in the room. And I try to be a little more low-key about that as myself. But generally, getting into these characters is easy because it's so different from who I am. It's a big struggle for me, though, because it being probably my last production at Belmont Abbey, it's a character that I really want to delve into. I want to give everything that I have, and it's really difficult because of my technique is developing into something different. The way I present lines is changing during this, and I'm just really figuring out who I am as an actor from this role. It's a wonderful role with a very nice cast, and I think that I will be a better actor coming out of this than I feel like I've ever been before, not just because of a change of technique, a change of how I deliver, a change of how I speak, but also working with some amazing actors and working with a very amazing script. I'm very happy to be a part of this.
I'm Troy Fay. I'm a history professor here at Belmont Abbey, and I'm playing the role of Oliver Davenport, who is an English art historian and art theorist who has been brought in to examine a newly discovered painting on an abandoned church in an unnamed Eastern European country that has just undergone post-communist revolution. And I'm supposed to help determine whether or not this painting is actually older than any other Renaissance-era painting that's been discovered to this point, and so could be the possible starting point for the Renaissance and all of the artistic, cultural, philosophical changes that came along with that. There are a lot of different themes that the play raises, and it's hard to summarize briefly, but it raises issues of national identity, where those come from, where they draw upon history, culture, art, religion, language, and how countries and peoples create those identities. for me, I think what's most interesting about the play is the issues it raises about what's going on in the last 20 years or so. When the communist system collapsed in Eastern Europe, there were really two big theories about what was going to occur in this post-bipolar, post-communist world. One of them was that it was going to be the end of history, and that Eastern and Western Europe would come back together, and it would lead to the inevitable triumph of the liberal, democratic, capitalistic state. The other theory is that it would lead to a clash of civilizations, and different peoples from different places would continue to contend for their system, their style, their culture. And in the last 20 years, we've really been trying to work out one of those two options. The play seems to suggest a third way, in that, as they discover over the course of the play, in order for this painting to have been produced originally, it took contributions from East and West Europe, Eastern, Western Christianity, Islam, the Arab world. All of that was required to produce that. And then, in our time, in order to understand the painting, in order to understand the message and the meaning of it, it once again takes all of those contributions from East, from West, from Christianity, from Islam, from all around the world, really, suggesting that rather than this clash of civilizations or the triumph of one system over another, we all need to realize the sort of interdependence, really, that we share, that has created us and that we require to understand one another. Of course, the ending of the play is a little more ambiguous, suggesting how difficult that sort of peace, love, and understanding is to actually achieve. So we're left really wondering what our options are. It also seems to me that this is a good play to produce here at Belmont Abbey. In every classroom we have got a poster up of Benedictine hallmarks, the kind of values and characteristics that a Benedictine education can help to produce. And a couple of those things seem a little bit contradictory. One of those is stability. Another is hospitality. In order to be stable, to have a stable identity, you need to know where you've come from, what your background is, what has contributed to making us who we are. But on the other hand, we have to have that hospitality that welcomes others, that respects their contributions and what they have done to help create us and to create the world that we're a part of.
One of the first questions that people ask about the play is, what does the title mean? Pentecost, of course, is a religious feast in Christianity when the Holy Spirit descends upon the apostles and they go out and begin preaching the gospel to crowds of Jews who have come from all over the then known world. And each hears it in his own language, no matter what the apostle is actually speaking. One of the things that comes up for the actors is that they will be speaking in languages with which they're usually not familiar. But by the end of the play, there has to be some sort of understanding that has arisen simply from the interaction that the characters have had with each other. And there is a spiritual dimension to it as well because of the nature of the painting. And so you really do have, by the end of the play, a Pentecost moment.